YouTube, you can also do that. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can either ask me in the sticker here, or you can also ask in the comments on YouTube. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. This week on Sunday service, the main topic that we talked about. Welcome. This week. Well, okay. The main topic that we talked about was kind of connecting the dots in the story. Hi, Design Matrix. Hi, Leo. Hi, Memento. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can put it in the sticker. So the assignment we did was a lot of times, when we hear a story, somebody tells a story, we might think that, oh, I don't have any stories. And then somebody starts telling you a story. And then we're like, oh, I have a story like that too. And then you tell your version of the story. So the best way to come up with ideas for stories is to listen to a lot of stories. So that's kind of what we did. Hi, Natty, Kareem. Hey, Hila. Okay, so let's go right into questions. Yeah, you can ask me, if you have any questions, you can ask me any kind of question here. Okay, how do you find clients for your business? Okay, so I'm at a point where I don't have to go find clients. Clients come to me. So, that's how most businesses are going to work, right? Like, once you get to a certain point, you shouldn't have to go after clients anymore. The clients should be coming to you. And if the clients are not coming to you, that means something is wrong. You're either not doing a good job, the clients are not happy, or something like that, right? So how do I'll say this, right? The way you can get a good client, get series of good clients, is to have one good client. It's really like one good client is all you really need. Because that's kind of how it works. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. Like when we were making websites for like corporate brands, a lot of people in like marketing, that works in big companies, they go, if they quit their job, they go to work in another marketing position in another company. So people move around, and like, everybody that works in marketing is they kind of know each other, right? For that reason. So once you get one client, one good client, most likely that one client is going to lead to another good client, and so on and so on and so on. So one good client is what you really need. Yes, exactly. So networking is the same thing, right? A lot of people think that, I don't believe in the numbers game when it comes to this, right? So, because a lot of people think that, in order to have network, you want a big network, right? You want to know you want to have like hundreds of people in your network, right? That's not what networking is. What you actually want is you want like 5 really, really, really close relationships that you really, really trust, right? For example, you want one person that's like in the technology world that knows everything about technology. When it comes to technology, you trust this one person. Like that's your go-to person, right? And then there's one person in marketing, and when it comes to marketing and storytelling or something like that, maybe that's me. That's the one person you go to, right? When it comes to like HR or leadership, or when it comes to raising money for funds, or when it comes to like, what you need is just strong network of like 5 people. Once you have that, you can take over the world, because those 5 people knows all the other people, and that's how it works, right? So when you sell, when you network, don't think quantity, think quality. It's much better to have 5 really, really deep relationship with the right people than hundreds of fucking relationship where you just like collected their business card at a networking party or something like that. Same thing with sales, right? Don't go out trying to go after like fucking, 100 leads and trying to like close as many leads as you can. Like while you're wasting your energy doing that, you're not spending your time really focusing on your current client. Do you understand what I mean? The name of the game is to make that one client happy. Make that one client so happy that they won't stop talking about you. That's the name of the game. Because once you do that, you'll get another client. And once you do that, that client, make that client feel like they're the only fucking client in the world, and then so on and on and on, and it'll start spreading because that's just what happens. Like, if you guys know Seth Godin is considered like the godfather of marketing. There's a concept that he talks about, which is focus on table 4. So when you open a restaurant, a lot of people are focused on the decoration, the menu, and like all of these. Like everybody's, oh fuck, what happened? Oh, my internet went. Okay, yeah, everybody's so focused on all the big picture stuff. But what Seth Godin is, what you have to do is you have to focus on table 4. Those 2 people in table 4 deliver the most amazing experience they've ever experienced in their life. Because then those 2 people won't stop talking about it, and then they'll bring more people and then make them feel like that, and they'll bring more people. And that's how you really grow a business, not through marketing and fucking like trying to scam people into buying your shitty product. That's not how you fucking build a business. The way you build a business is by actually providing a good product, by actually providing amazing service. Then it automatically grows. Okay? So that's how you go. That's how I find clients for my business. Yeah, so how I find clients for my business is I don't. I just do a fucking good job, and clients find me. Okay? Okay. Memento Ads asked, the best way to start our story with, and can we have story to sell any kind of product or services? The best way to start our story with. I don't know what that means. Can we have story to sell any kind of product or service? I mean, here's the thing, right? If you want to use storytelling in your brand messaging, to me, storytelling is just an example of it's just an example that demonstrates a lesson. Okay? For example, like I'm doing it right now, right? I said, it's just a way to demonstrate a lesson, and I'm saying, for example, and now I'm about to give you an example, something like that, right? So there's a good one. But let me think of a good one. Like here's one that I tell my clients, right? If you look at our websites look very different than other websites. The websites that we built, there's a story component to it. We tell visually a story, and we really go into the people's emotions, and there's like a cohesive thing going on with the design, the animation, the copy, and everything combined together. And the way I explain it to the clients, and I can say that, oh yeah, everybody can say, oh yeah, we do storytelling in our website. Oh, the websites we design, we do storytelling. Everyone can say that. How do you back it up, right? The way you back it up is, and the way we do it, for example, is in our company, when we start, our copywriter, our designer, and our developer all start in the same room in the kickoff meeting. They're all working together. So what ends up happening is the copywriter might come up with an idea for a story. It's like, oh, let's tell a story like this. And then, oh, this is what's worrying you, and this is why. And then here, like for Mel Robbins, what we did was, 5 seconds can change everything. And then we went from like a picture of a messy bed in a dark room to like picture of a clean bed in a bright white room, right? And then as soon as the copywriter said, oh, like we should do like something like that, that says 5 seconds can change everything. The designer comes up with the idea, oh, when we say 5 seconds or change anything, we should have like an image of like a dirty, messy bed versus like a clean bed, right? And then the developer is looking at them and be like, oh shit, you know what? I can make a parallax so that when you scroll, it'll just go from the messy and it'll just slide up, and then you see the clean bed underneath it. Like that kind of collaboration happens when you put them in the same room together, working on the same thing. But what most companies do is they have a copywriter that writes all the copy. They hand it over to the designer who takes that and makes the design, and then hand it over to the developer who codes that. And that's how they work. And that's a clear difference between how we work. So you see how I used a real life example story, a real story, to back up my claim. So my claim was that at Night Owl here, our websites are different than any other company because we design our websites tell a very cohesive story, right? How do I back it up? The way we do it is by putting all the designer, developer, and the copywriter in the same room together in the beginning. Where how other companies do it is they separate it. There you go. Hi, C. Yeah, so there's an example of how. So a story is the demonstration, an example of how to do the thing that you just said. For example, here's another example, right? People go around saying like, oh, authenticity, vulnerability, transparency, be honest with your clients, be transparent with your clients. Every fucking body says that shit, right? So how do you believe them? Everybody says they're transparent. Everybody says they're authentic. Everyone says they're vulnerable. Do you trust them? No, you don't, because you need to demonstrate it, right? So the way I would do it is, hey, if you're a freelancer, you're working with clients, make sure you're authentic and you show transparency and authenticity is important. For example, in the beginning days, we kept taking on more project because we had a cash flow problem. But we didn't want our clients to know that, so we kept giving excuses like, oh, your project's on time, we just had a little server hiccup, blah, blah, blah. And I kept giving excuses rather than telling them the truth because I was afraid. But what happened was we kept taking on more clients. So we didn't have more time, so we had to take on more clients, and we just kept going down this road. And finally, I had to be honest with the client and say, hey, sorry, your project is delayed because we had to take on more clients because we're having some cash flow problems. So we needed more. We needed to take on more projects. And that client actually, rather than firing us, ended up giving us a bonus to make sure that we don't go out of business. So there's an example, a story of how to be authentic, how to be transparent, how to be vulnerable with the client. Don't just fucking say, be vulnerable with the client, be transparent, be authentic, and leave it at that. If you just say, oh, be authentic, be transparent, then you're basically saying the same fucking shit that everyone else is saying. But if you say it, and then you give a story as an example of what this looks like, that's when people are going to be like, oh, I get it now. I see what being authentic means. Oh, okay, I see what being transparent means now. Do you understand what I mean? So, yeah, that's why story is important. Story is the manifestation. Story is the manifestation of your lesson that you're trying to teach. Okay, next question. Design Salem. How could I generate new ideas? Most of the time, feel that everything is already done before. You're absolutely right. Everything is already done before. So, like, there's no such thing as a brand new, there's no such thing as a completely original thought. Okay? So, yeah, if you're trying to create something brand new that's never existed, you're in for a surprise because that will never happen. Trust me, there's no original thought that you could come up with that another human being hasn't thought before. Okay? So the name of the game isn't to come up with new ideas. Okay? The name of the game is to express yourself, based on your experience. Like this, all the shit that I'm teaching right now, the reason why what I'm saying is different than what most people say is because the shit that I'm talking about, it works for me. Here, I'll give you a perfect example, right? So, a lot of salespeople, a lot of business coaches, and a lot of entrepreneur coaches say this shit, okay? And they say, oh, just delegate. Just delegate. Just if you want to grow a 4-hour work week, just delegate. Okay? You're having trouble you're having trouble being profitable. Oh, you know what you should charge $10,000 to the client. Go find a freelancer that can do the work for $5,000 and then deliver the work, be the middleman, and then you take $5,000. Right? Yeah, that will work for some people. For people that don't care about the quality of the product, they don't care about If you got into the business just to make money, just to be the middleman, yes, that'll work. But for somebody like me, it won't work. Because when I tried that, what happened is I hire somebody, okay, this person, I paid them $5,000. They come back with the work, and I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking sucks. And I give them some fucking, like, hey, can you make blah, blah, blah? And then they redo it, it sucks, and now it's delayed, and I'm like, fuck it, okay, I'll just do it myself. It's gonna take longer if I try to explain to you. I'll just do it myself. And I do it myself, and I spend my own time, and I deliver it. So what happened? I paid this guy, wasted time, wasted my own time, and at the end of the day, just created more work, and it just never worked. Why? Because humans are not rational. We're not fucking robots. If we were like these fucking business coach out there, like, even like Chris Do says that, right? Like, oh, just outsource it to this, blah, blah, blah. Like, they act like we're fucking robots where we can just do that like without a problem. No, the reason why we fucking become a designer is because we want to make something good. Not because we want to be a fucking middleman and fucking take some cash in between. If that's what we wanted to do, we would have fucking went into sales. If that's what we wanted to do, we would be just fucking running Google AdWords. Why did we become a designer? Why did we become a video editor? Because we care about the quality of the work. So if you fucking tell me to outsource it and fucking sacrifice the quality so you can make fucking profit, I'm not gonna do that. So therefore, that methodology doesn't work for my personality. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything fucking new ideas or anything like that. What I'm saying is, okay, that sales method, that method of running a business, that way of growing and scaling your business, it works for some people. And if you're that people, great. But that advice has never worked for me because of my personality. And I guarantee you there are people out there who are like me where that advice doesn't work for them. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not fucking generating brand new ideas. There's no, like, trust me, like, here's the thing. Here's a great quote by Paul Rand. He's the guy who designed the IBM logo. He's like the greatest designer. He said, don't try to create a masterpiece. Just try to be good. Just try to be good enough. And that's how you make masterpiece. Don't try to come up with a fucking brand new idea that's never been done. Like, trust me, I went through that fucking hole, right? And it's not a good place. It's a dark place where I'm like, no, what I'm doing right now, the way I'm doing my agency, it's not good enough. It has to be completely revolutionary. It has to be brand new idea. It has to be something completely different. So I try to come up with something completely different that nobody fucking asked for. Like, here's the biggest problem with creatives, right? Creatives loves to come up with something completely original, completely unique, just for the sake of being original, just for the sake of being unique, okay? I'll tell you this, just because it's original doesn't mean it's good. I've seen a lot of shit that's unique that's fucking garbage, okay? So the point is to actually improve, to make something better, right? Not to make something original. If you just try to make something good, it'll already be original. But if you just try to be original, yeah, that's you trying to be original. I'll tell you this. This is where that comes from. You trying to be original, come up with brand new idea. That's just your fucking ego. He's like, oh, I have to be the one to come up with the idea. No, it's not good enough. Oh, like what I'm doing right now, right? Like I can be like, it's not. That's why people fucking get patents and they fucking try to block everything, right? Like what I'm doing right now, I want to create a community where I can actually scale mentorship and actually works. And that's what Night Owl Nation is, right? And with that, what I want to do is I want people to see how we do it. I want them to replicate it and I want them to do it better than we're doing. Okay? Rather than try to like cover it and hide it and stuff like that, right? And it's just fucking ego. When you try to do that, we're like, no, I have to be the one to come up with the idea. I have to be the one that did the new original thing. I have to be the one who fixed it. No, who the fuck cares? If somebody can fix education and somebody can make this fucking online courses actually work, not like fucking how it is right now with some garbage courses out there, I can really I couldn't care less. If somebody else fixes it, great, awesome. It doesn't have to be me, right? Like, we have to throw this idea that, oh, it has to be me. No, it doesn't matter. It's you. If you really care about that thing, if you really care about the environment, if you really care about fixing education, if you really care about, how to make a better, process, better design, whatever it is, if you really care about that shit, it doesn't fucking matter whether that idea comes from you or somebody else. If you really care about it and somebody's making progress towards it, it's good for everyone. Why does it have to be you? Why do you have to be the star? So, fuck new ideas. Don't try to be original. Just try to be good enough. Okay? Here's what I'll say, guys. This is fucking drive me crazy. I hope my video editors clip this and use it. This fucking drives me crazy. Everybody wants the fucking lottery winner, right? Everybody wants to win the lottery. They want that fucking they want the big idea, the big fucking, $1 billion idea, boom. Everybody wants that shit, right? But here's the thing. The way success doesn't come from big ideas. Success doesn't come from new original ideas or anything like that. Success comes from just being good enough day after day after day after day after day for years, for months, for years, for decades. Keep doing that boring ass shit good enough every day, consistently for a long time. That's where success comes from, not from some big idea or some fucking original idea, okay? So everybody, all of you guys are sitting there and be like, oh, I don't want to put in the boring every day, the nitty-gritty work every day, just consistently doing good enough. I don't want to do that boring shit. I just want one big idea. But no, that's not how the fucking world works. If you want success, 100,000% guaranteed, the only way you're going to get success is just being good enough every day for years. Okay, next question. All right. Hi, Sarah Bay from Paris. Hey, Reggie. Hi, Paulo. Hi, Aria. Okay, let's move on. Next question is from Jinesh Parmar. How to build a brand from scratch from a solo entrepreneur. Okay, if you're building a personal brand, I mean, there's no better way to build a brand from scratch than putting out content. I would say the first thing I would do if I'm starting out and I want to build a personal brand is... Oh, Rob, can you put the question in the sticker? So the first thing I would do if I'm building a personal brand is I would start a podcast. Because here's the thing about personal brands, right? I meet so many personal brands, like whether they're motivational speaker, authors, course creators, whatever, like influencers, YouTubers, whatever it is, yoga teachers, coaches, whatever they are, right? When I meet a personal brand, usually they don't even really know what they're all about, okay? Because that's what a brand is, right? I talked about this a couple weeks ago. What makes Apple so special is that in Apple's DNA, and it came from Steve Jobs, right? In Apple's DNA, there's this, if you open up the Macintosh, the original Macintosh, right, from 1984, inside cover, there's a signature of all the Mac team that worked on the Macintosh, right? That's something that nobody will ever see, but they put it in there. And what that shows is that shows the DNA of the culture. These people are so fucking on top of their game. They put every little last detail into even the thing that people are never even gonna see, right? So when you have that kind of DNA, every product that comes out of that company is gonna have that attention to detail. And that is the reason why people cannot copy Apple. One of the stories that I tell is, Apple has physicists and chemists and these in their design team that works on like designing the fan in an aerodynamic way, in a way that it makes the least amount of noise possible. So when you actually work on a MacBook and then you switch to a ThinkPad or like a Dell, you can immediately feel like, oh, why is this thing so loud? And that is all happening from that little tiny attention to detail. And that's why in Apple, when you plug in that power cord, when you close the laptop or open it, it just got that little nice touch, that feel to it. It's like you don't know exactly what it is, but something feels different. So it's something that people can't exactly explain what it is, but they can feel it. Okay? And that's the Apple difference. And that comes from the Apple's culture DNA. And that DNA comes from Steve Jobs. Okay? So it's because Steve Jobs has the kind of personality where when he went to the New York Apple store, one of the stair was off by like a little bit, and he had them just rip out the whole thing and redo the whole thing again. Like, that's how he is, right? So that personality seeps in through the culture. So that's why it's so important to know what your personality is and what is it about you that makes you so special, right? Like that obsessive OCD-ness about Steve Jobs, that perfectionism that Steve Jobs had, right? That's what made him special. What is it that makes you special? Okay? And you need to find that thing. And that, like, what makes me special is that I'm really, really, really fucking good at making people say, I never thought of it that way. Like, I don't even have to fucking try. Every single day, I'm just having conversation with friends, clients, employees, whatever it is. And every single day I hear, oh, I never thought of it that way. I never thought of it. Like, that's what I do. So you're never going to beat me at my own game, right? Because that's just, it's innate. It's who I am. It's like part of my personality, right? So you need to find your thing. What is the thing about that makes you, you? And once you find that, and what I saw is that most people don't know that shit. Most people don't know what makes them them. So what they do is they heard all this other shit and they did this fucking like, they did their little ikigai fucking exercise, and that they went to this find yourself seminar and this fucking some workshop where they fucking try to like, clarify your message and all of that shit. And after fucking 10 years, you're still confused. You're still clueless. Like, who am I? Why? Because you defined your brand based on all the fucking cliche that best practices that experts tell you. Oh, I'm authentic. I'm really good at bringing out people's, the best in people. I'm really good at, coaching. I'm really good at, people really trust me. They say the same fucking shit that everyone else says. Okay? So that the reason why that's happening is because you don't really truly know who you are. You think you are one person, but you're not really that. That's the person that your ego wants to be. That's the person, the brand that you created, the brand message that you're putting out there, that little brand exercise that you do, that's just your ego version of what you want everybody in the world to think of you. It's not the real you, okay? So you need to go deep down and find out who the real you is. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to start a podcast. Because for me, I get so much clarity from just talking, just journaling, just talking, just letting all my thoughts out, right? So that's why I think what you should do is start a podcast and just have conversation with clients, have conversation with friends, have conversations with other people in the industry. Just have any kind of conversations that you're really interested in. And what happens is through this conversation, you're going to see a pattern over and over. I tend to be like this. I tend to be like that. I tend to think this way. Because right now, you don't really have your own opinion. Your opinion is what the experts say. Like, here's what happens, right? A lot of people, they say, money's not going to make you happy. I don't care about money. I just want to be happy, right? And then their neighborhood gets like a brand new Tesla and they're like jealous of them. They're like, oh, fuck, we can't afford a Tesla. Okay? If you're really, truly, truly happy and you don't care about money, you should truly not be jealous you should truly not be envious that your neighbor just got a brand new Tesla. Right? It's because there's a conflict between who you believe you are. Oh, I don't care about money. And who you really are. Oh, thank you. If you guys want to buy this t-shirt, it's you can buy it in a merch store. Okay, so yeah, that's where I would start. If you want to build a personal brand, start by starting a podcast and just do 100 episodes just talking. And I guarantee you by the end of that 100 episode, you'll know a lot about yourself. You will learn a lot about yourself. Marcellus girl, can you put the question in the sticker? I'll go through them quicker from now on. Okay. It's Huzaifa Design. Can I work with you as a graphic designer? I love your content. No, you can't. Right now we're not looking for designers, but when we are looking for designers, we'll definitely, post it and then we'll figure it out. Okay. Parva Khan. Is it possible to sell poems and earn money? Yeah, if it's good. Yes, if it's good, it's possible to sell anything and make money. Here's the thing, okay? Here's what I found. At the end of the day, humans are not that different from each other. Like, we all like to think that every one of us is individual, unique, and so, yes, we're all unique individual. We all have our unique, fucking fingerprint and all of that. But still, at the end of the day, we're all humans. So we share a lot of the common problems. We share a lot of the same struggles, and it's, a lot of us are the same. So what I found is that so you might see somebody and somebody's like obsessed about fashion. This person is obsessed about NFT. This person is obsessed about, Bitcoin. This person here is like obsessed about marketing. Like people have these different obsessions, right? And there are a lot of these subcultures and subgroups and obsessions that I look at and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't get it. Like why the fuck would anybody pay money for that, right? Like if you look at, that's how I feel about Pokemon cards, right? I'm like, why the fuck would anybody pay over $1 million for that Pokemon card, right? But what I found is whenever there's some sort of an obsession, if one person is upset with something, that means there's at least 1 million people out there that's obsessed about the same thing. Like, that's what I found about and that's why there's so many these cultures and subcultures and subcultures and things like that. There's subcultures about people who fucking like to dress up in what do you call it? Like those fucking those costumes, those mascots and shit like that. Like that's their thing, right? There's like those what do you call those My Little Ponies fucking fan groups. And then there's like another subculture that came out of that called My Little Bronies, where it's like adult men who are into My Little Ponies. So it's like there's subculture after subculture after subculture. And the reason why that happens is because at the end of the day, humans are not that far from each other. So yeah, you and I might be different, but there's somebody else out there that's exactly like me. And this is why I really, really think that if you really want to grow a fan base, if you really want to grow a community, if you really want to grow your audience that's like you, just be 100,000% authentically you about the thing that you're obsessed about. Whatever that thing that you're obsessed about, if you talk about it obsessively, I guarantee you're going to find other people out in the world that are also obsessed about the same thing. I think the real problem is this. I don't usually meet a lot of people that are obsessed about anything. Like, I think that's what we're lacking in the modern world today, is that nobody is really passionate about anything. And the reason why nobody's really passionate about anything is because for some reason over the last few decades, the idea of being cool, being accepted, like fitting in, became like, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I'm cool. Oh, and then if you're too passionate about something, like too passionate about Star Wars or too passionate about something, right? Like some video game or something like that, then you're considered a geek, right? It's like, calm down, man. Calm down. Right? Like, calm down. Like, cool. Be cool. Be cool. Be cool. Like, as if being too passionate is not cool. Right? So what happens is our society's gotten to this place where all these fucking millennials and these fucking Gen Zs and these young kids all just want to act like they don't care. They don't. Oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't. Oh, whatever. That's cool. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So what happens? They literally don't fucking care about anything. They have no fucking passion because in their entire fucking life, they train their brain, they force themselves, and they brainwash their own fucking brains to say, "Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Well, I don't care. Oh, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Whatever, dude. No, I don't care. Oh, what do you want to eat? I don't care. Oh, what do you want to do with your life? I don't care. Oh, what school do you want to go to? Oh, I don't care. Oh, where do you want to? What do you want to work? I don't care." So you live your whole fucking life not give a shit because you want to be cool, and all of a sudden now you want to find passion. You're not gonna fucking find passion. Here's the thing about passion, guys. You think that you don't have passion because you didn't find that one thing that you're passionate about, right? You think the reason why you're like, so many people say to me, "Oh, I'm at a crossroads, son. I don't know what to do. Should I do this? Should I do like I once I find the thing that I'm passionate about, then I'll go all in. Then I'll be really going all in. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna go all in. But right now, I don't know what I'm passionate about, so I can't do anything. I'm on hold because I don't. No, that's fucking bullshit. Okay. People that are passionate about one thing are also passionate about other things. Passion doesn't come from a specific thing. You either have passion or you don't have passion. If you have passion, you can literally be passionate about anything. And if you don't have passion, you can literally, I can fucking bring you the fucking most exciting shit in the world. Yeah, maybe you get excited about it for a fucking month, but trust me, at some point you're gonna get fucking bored of it and you're gonna lose passion for it. So passion is not, it doesn't come from an external source, okay? Passion is within you. You can be passionate about anything you want, okay? So don't fucking feel like, oh, I need to wait and I need to find the one thing that I'm passionate about before I go all in. No, that's not how it fucking works, okay? You're never going to be passionate about anything if that's what you're thinking. So, okay, I don't know how I got here, but yeah, you can sell poems. All right, next question. Success Habits asked, why are you not answering on LinkedIn? I could give you so much growth. I'm sorry. I will do better at answering on LinkedIn. I've been really, really, really busy. So sorry about that. Okay. Rob. Hey, Rob. Question. So when we're looking for our differentiator, how can we make sure we're not just feeding our ego, and egos need to be original? So here's what I do, right? I think our differentiator really comes from not from figuring out what to do, but from figuring out what I don't want to do. Okay? So there's a difference. Because here's the thing, right? Like I said before, if my differentiator is, let's say I'm just hiring a freelancer, boom, and then selling like how everyone else does, right? Yeah, there are people out there that have no problem doing that. But there are people like me out there that I can't get myself to do that. Okay? So all of you guys out there, trust me, there's a line that you wouldn't cross no matter how much money. Okay? And that is different for all of you guys, right? Some people will be like, I don't give a fuck how the website turns out as long as I can make more money. Some people will be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care how much money I lose. This website has to be perfect. Okay? So based on your personality, there are certain things that you cannot get yourself to do. So if you want to find your differentiator, you know how I say this, right? One of the differentiators at Night Owl is that, you know, our designer, developer, and copywriter all work in the same room and same blah, blah, blah. And that's different, right? And it's not just being different. The reason why we did that is not like, oh, that's how we need to be different. So we set a process. It didn't happen that way. It happened by trial and error. So we kept doing, I kept doing all the design and coding all of them myself in the beginning, right? For years. And then once I started the process of separating it, it didn't work. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, they totally didn't get this. Okay, let me start putting the designer into the meeting. And then maybe, okay, that worked. But then by the time it got to development, I was like, oh, shit, this is so boring. Okay, let me bring the developer into the meeting. Okay, so the way I develop my differentiator process, because it's your process that's really different, right? How you do your business, how you do your work is what your differentiator is. Not like, oh, our company is very authentic and that's our differentiator. Oh, our agency focuses on storytelling. That's what you say your differentiator is. A real differentiator can be measured. So tell me what is the exact process that you use that makes you that way, right? So that specific thing. And that thing has to evolve over time. You can't be like, okay, from now on, my specialty is that we focus on quality of the work. So I'm gonna force my designer and developer and copywriter to all go start in the same room and blah blah blah. That's how we're gonna do it. That's not how it works. Okay, that process took me years to figure out through trial and error. And once I got to the right point where okay, this is working perfectly for me, this I can live with. I can live with this. Because I'm making money and not sacrificing, quality or whatever. I can live with this. Once that process has been set, that is your differentiator. You don't invent a differentiator, I guess is what I'm saying. The differentiator has to do with you. So the differentiator is within you. All you got to do is find it. Here, I think I gave a good example like this. My job at Night Owl really is I'm like the Rick Rubin of web design. So when you look at Rick Rubin, like when you hear a Rick Rubin song, he's like the most the most award-winning music producer in the world. But when you look at Rick Rubin, you can't tell if that's a Rick Rubin song or not. You can never tell. And the reason why you can't tell is because Rick Rubin is so good at bringing the artists out, the authentic artists out of the person, right? So he's not putting himself into the work. That's why when you look at other producers, they all sound similar because the producer is putting their work into it. But what Rick Rubin is doing, they're getting the best out of that person, right? So that's kind of how I consider myself. Like I'm trying to get the best out of you, the best out of, and that's kind of how your brand story and your brand message, your differentiator has to be. It has to come out of you. You can't try to invent it and force it on you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right. Next. Sad Man Sakib Sky asked, how do I target my specific audience through my brand promises? Okay. First of all, the way you target your specific audience is don't. There's no fucking such thing as specific audience. Okay? There's a 60-year-old grandma who wants to look at pictures of their grandkids who would buy an iPad or a MacBook, okay, in Wisconsin. But there's also an 18-year-old kid who wants to be a YouTuber in Los Angeles who also wants to buy a MacBook. Okay? So what is Apple's target audience? Stop fucking thinking about target audience, guys. There's no such thing as target audience where these type of people buy this, these type of people buy. There's no such thing, okay? So instead, what I want you to do is focus on the fucking problem. What is the problem you're solving? Right? Who's the type of person that deals with that problem? And as long as you know what the problem that your brand solves, okay, what problem does Amazon solve? Like, Amazon can fucking get you whatever product at the cheapest price at the fastest time in your door. That's the problem that it solves. So solve a problem, and then your market, your audience, your target audience, your branding, everything is already done. And your brand promise is not like, oh, McDonald's, I'm loving it. That's not your fucking brand promise. That's not like, oh, at Google, we promise to do blah, 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 blah. That's not your fucking brand promise, okay? Brand promise, you do that through action, right? You don't have to say, this is my brand promise. Oh, this is what my brand is all about. If you have to say what your brand is about, then you already lost. Because the brand is how that audience, how your customers feel about you. So if the customers feel like, oh, I trust this guy. Oh, I know that with this, I can get the highest quality. Oh, I know that with this, they're going to have the best customer service. Like, I trust this brand for this reason. That happened over years, decades of that brand delivering on that promise over and over and over and over again. Right? Amazon can say, oh, we're the fastest and cheapest all they want. But if they don't actually deliver the cheapest and the fastest, that brand is not going to work. So your brand, you build your brand not through your logo or your slogan. You build your brand through your actions. So your brand is your reputation. Every time you fucking say something, every time you make a promise and you fucking lie and you don't keep that promise or you fuck people over, you're hurting your brand. That's all. It's as simple as that. Okay. Okay, I did that one. Next, spoken by Sergio. How to find out, uncover my passion or purpose. Something spiritual rewarding. Like I said, you don't find passion or purpose from something. Okay? Your passion and purpose is a moment-to-moment thing, okay? Right now, I'm super passionate about being on this live and answering your question. That's what I'm super passionate about, right? Afterwards, I have to plan out my Sunday service. So I'm going to be super passionate about planning that lesson plan. And after that, I'm going to go on a coaching call. And I have to be super passionate at that moment about being... After that, I'm going to cook lunch. And I'm going to have to be super passionate about what I'm making. And then after that, if I go watch a movie, I have to be super passionate about paying attention to that. Watch that movie 100% with 100% focus, right? So moment to moment to moment to moment is where your passion is. Your purpose, same thing. You don't look at it like, okay, in 5 years, I want to be here. And I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to go after it. Here's my plan and blah, 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 blah. That's my purpose. That's not how you find purpose. You find your purpose from moment to moment. Okay? Today, blah, blah, blah. Today, this person called and this client wants to do this. Do I want to take that or not take that? My gut tells me today, if I'm putting in my 100%, it tells me, no, I shouldn't do that. It's like, so day to day, you're making that day, what you're based on being present and knowing yourself and just being really like using your gut intuition. You're taking the next best step. Your purpose is to find your purpose is right here in the moment. What's the next best step? That's your purpose. Finding the next best step. Okay? What is meaningful next best step? Like when you go on a podcast, you have an option. You can memorize a script and you can just fucking talk about it. Or you can just let it loose and see where it goes. Take the risk. Right? That's the next best step. What's the next best step? Keep taking the next best step. And 5 years later, where you end up was where you were supposed to be. That is your path. You don't fucking set it 5 years earlier and say, that's where I'm going to go. That's not how it works. Okay, next question. Tattoo by Kimo. As a tattoo artist or artist in general / creative, how do we differentiate ourselves without coming off arrogant or showing off? Here's what I think. If you're any kind of visual artist, because I'm a web designer, so I know. If you're any kind of visual artist, at the end of the day, your differentiator will show in your work. So you can sit here and say all you want that, oh, my differentiator is that we focus on storytelling. Well, my differentiator is that we're innovative in our design. My differentiator is that, oh, we use very minimalistic approach. You can say that all the fuck you want. It doesn't mean shit. The real differentiator why people hire you is gonna come from your work. You know, the real reason. So all of the process that I use, yes, that's our differentiator. That's what causes us to make these fucking amazing websites. But at the end of the day, the client's coming to us not because they're like, oh, I heard that Night Owl, they work like this, blah, blah, blah. That's not why they come to us. They come to us because they saw one of the websites that we built. And they're like, holy shit, I want that. Because our differentiator is being manifested on the design. So the design itself is awesome, and that's why people come. And then in the sales meeting, I explain to them why our design is awesome in a way that they can understand. Our design is awesome because our process is like this and other people's process is like that. That's why our design is awesome. Then they're like, oh, okay. And sold, right? So same thing with the tattoo artist, right? Nobody is going to a tattoo artist because, oh, I heard that this tattoo artist uses that process. Nobody, trust me, nobody's like, everyone is going to a tattoo artist because they like their style. Every tattoo artist has a style. And your style that other people cannot mimic because that's your style is what they're going to go to you for. So your differentiator is going to, if you're any kind of visual artist or anything, any kind of artist like that creates stuff, your differentiator is going to manifest in your work. And if it doesn't, if people cannot see your work and say, wow, that's different. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Wow, if they cannot see the differentiator in your work, that means you don't have a differentiator. It means you're just saying that that's my differentiator, but it's not really. Because it's not true. It's not being represented in your work. You know what I mean? So if you really want to be unique, represent it in your work. Have your own style. A lot of web designers, new web designers that I see, what they do is they go out and they look at Squarespace, they look at all these other web design CSS galleries, and they try to copy the big style, right? Oh wow, that the style is like I want to try to do it like them. I want to do it like Apple. Like they want to try to do it like someone, right? That's why every website looks the same. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, next question. Kindred spirit lover, what advice would you give introverts who are trying to build network and connection and actualize their ideas? So I am a super introvert myself, and I actually think introverts have an advantage because I think you can, as an introvert, you can actually recognize and build deeper relationship with one-on-one more than how extroverts can. And that's a huge superpower because, like I said before, the way you build your business is not by having a network of 200 people. The way you build your business is having a strong network of 5 people that really, really trust you. Do you understand what I mean? Like right now, all of the projects, all the clients that we get is because somebody that we worked with before that 100% trust us, somebody asked them, do you know who did your website? And because we've done that so many times, we have a small network of clients who fucking love us that, like all of our projects are coming through there. So if you're an introvert, really, really focus on building deep relationship with few people, not a lot of people. Another bit of advice I can give you guys is before figuring out what your niche is, what your differentiator is and things like that, first figure out whether you're a B2B person or B2C person. Because, for example, a lot of people think that if you're a motivational speaker, if you're a public speaker, that's a B2C thing. But no, it's not. That's actually B2B. Because to get most of these speaking gigs, you have to have a network. You have to know the right people. And And a lot of these speakings, like if you go to like an Adobe event or if you go to some speaking event, 90% of the speakers you never heard of because they're just known in that field, that industry. They're not known publicly, right? So you need to understand whether are you a B2B or are you B2C? Because based on that personality, and the reason why I asked is this. If you want to build a B2C business, right? If you want to build a brand, personal brand, grow your social media and have a huge audience, you have to want to be famous. Because there's no way around it, right? If you don't want to be famous, because I've tried this with many clients. I've tried my hardest to help clients build their business, but at the end of the day, the ones that don't want to be famous will lose, because the people that don't want to be famous are not willing to do certain things. Like there are enough people out there that are willing to do anything to be famous that they're gonna beat you. Do you know what I mean? So understand whether you're in the B2B business or B2C business, and then act accordingly. Okay, I'm gonna answer this question from YouTube real quick. Design with Dickens. Twitter question. I asked you a question. Twitter, did you get it, son? I haven't checked my Twitter in a while, so I'll check that. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I haven't. I gotta be better on social media. There's been a lot of backed up work that I've been working on. Okay, next question. Amin Zain, what's your opinion on fake influencers selling get rich quick schemes like SMMA courses? I see a lot of business owners and teenagers are falling into this trap. Is there a way to create some kind of awareness against these type of fake gurus? So I think it's, you know what it is it's kind of like when you see those like real estate scam from the 80s, right? Or like those kind of get rich pyramid scams from like the 80s and stuff like that. Like a lot of these scams, they don't last long, because at some point people realize that. Like I feel like right now we're at the tail end of that with the courses stuff, right? Like yes, with the internet and blah blah blah, all of this boomed, but at some point the online course game is not going. It's going to be up, right? It's kind of like there was a time when everybody was doing SEO. Now the SEO is not that, like, SEO is not really the hot thing anymore, right? There was a time when everybody was doing fucking, web design, and now it's not such a hot thing anymore. Like all of these trends have their moment, and every time there's a new technology, there's bound to be some people that are trying to take advantage of it, right? So what I would say is this. Don't worry about them. There will always be them, and there will always get people ripped off. The only way to beat them is by coming up with a better product. I think that's always going to be the thing. And for me, the way I can fix that is to come up with a course that really works. That if you go through this, it actually improves and it really helps you, for $5 a month. And if I can do that, I've just put all that garbage course creators out of business. Right? So that's how you do it, right? Like when Google came out, they put all the other search engines out of business. Right? When refrigeration came out, they put all the ice harvesters out of business, right? So that's what's going to happen. Okay, everyone, I'm going to have to leave soon. I'm going to do like there's so many questions still. Okay, I'm sorry if I didn't get to you guys. Please come back next week and then ask your questions. I'll just quickly go through the last few questions. Okay, success habits. You are a web designer too? Funny, what's your stack, or are you newbie WordPress designer? Yeah, we make WordPress websites, but we do everything custom. Okay. APS 23, your perspective on uncertainty in life. You have to embrace the uncertainty, right? A lot of us think that life is like, oh, you set a goal, you set a plan, and you go after that plan. No, that's not fucking what life is about. Life is more like Minecraft, the game Minecraft. There's no such thing as like a set goal. Like the adventure of unknown, finding out, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next week? Where am I going to be 5 years from now? Where am I going to be 10 years? Like not knowing that is the whole point. It's the excitement. Okay, next question. Tangeray, you may have answered this, but what's your opinion on experts giving advice on how to be a great designer? The only way you can be a great designer is by keep designing. And the more and more and more you design, you're gonna find your style. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what experts say is on how to be a great designer. But for me, I think the only way you can be great at anything is by just keep doing it. That's the only way. Okay, my dream is to travel world. Ask how to land your first few clients when you're starting out. I would say do your first couple of projects for free. I'll end the live with this answer. Do the first few projects for free, whether it's for your friends or reach out to someone, and do these projects like it's the best work you've ever done in your life. Like you want to win some fucking awards with this, okay? And I guarantee you, your career will be set after that. Another thing is somebody asked me the other day, like, how do I get big clients? Here's one trick to getting big clients. Hey, Bhavya. Yes, I get frustrated trying to grow online. So what I do is every day, when I look at my numbers, when I get frustrated, I'm like, but it's okay because I'm not trying to grow. So I really have to let go of my expectations. Okay, so what I realized is that in order to get the big, so if you keep doing one small clients over and over and over, you're only going to get small projects. The way you get the big projects is you have to first go in through the side door. So, for example, if you work with Spotify, right? We work with Spotify. We work with American Red Cross. We work with some big companies. But if you want to work on their main advertising, main project, you have to be in their vendor list. And that's like that's like a year-long process just to get yourself on that list, okay? So there's a lot of bureaucracy happening in these big companies. But a lot of these companies a lot of these little small departments have their own marketing budgets, right? So when we work with Spotify, Spotify's affiliate marketing group had their own budget to build their own little microsite. So the way we went in is we went in through the marketing director of the affiliate marketing team who had like a $50,000 budget so that they were able to approve that budget quickly for us to build that microsite. And we built them like a 3-page microsite, okay? But once you do that, now you're in. So now that person, now somebody from another department might be like, hey, I really like what you guys did. Can you introduce me? And then you go in. So you have to penetrate the organization like from the side door and then seep in through. And the way you do that is, I'm telling you guys, if you're in marketing, if you want to fucking succeed in marketing, you're a designer, marketer, copywriter, blah, 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 blah. If you're in marketing and you want to work with big brands, go immerse yourself in the marketing world, marketing industry. Go on LinkedIn. Go find the fucking CMO of every fucking biggest brand in the world. Go find the marketing directors, the marketing managers that work in smaller departments underneath that. Go network with every single fucking one of them. Make friends. Make close friends with 5 of them. And I guarantee you're going to get clients after clients because these people move around. Marketing manager from here becomes a marketing director here who becomes a CMO there and then so on and so on. They move around. So once you're in the side door and you know a few people in there, boom, you're set. Okay, guys, that's where I'm going to land it. That's how I'm going to end it. If you haven't gotten to my questions, I'm so sorry I have to go. But I'm going to be on again next Thursday. I'm on every Thursday on these lives. So if you have a question for me, please come back next Thursday. I will see you guys then. Tomorrow, there's a new episode airing on my podcast, Authentic as Fuck. And you guys are going to love it because this episode is all about how to find clarity. Like how to find, what should I do next? The next step. So thank you. Cheers, y'all. Have a great rest of the day. Bye. Bye, everyone on YouTube.